I'd like to highlight just a few elements sort of as a structure for what that collaboration and that discussion looks like in terms of planning the course. Sometimes faculty come and work with us and they say, you know, well, I didn't bring my computer, and that's one time I say, that's okay. Because a lot of the planning really happens in discussion or on the whiteboard or on paper or in your head or in conversation. Really a good amount of time goes into the actual planning and talking through. Really starting with what is the outcome for the course? The big question is, what do you want students to learn? What do you want students to walk away with from this course? Tell me about your course. What's the big picture here? Let's not think about assignments or activities right away, or quizzes or textbook. What's really the big picture, right? Because that helps us to think about and discuss and plan for a well-articulated and intentional learning experience for students. And part of what Shirley was saying, we do that by adding an introductory video. The introductory video is less about, this is what you're going to read, you're going to have a signature assignment, and here's how I'd like you to format the assignment. It's not about that at all, really. It's maybe not even about the textbook. It's really about, what's the course about? What are the topics? What am I going to learn as a student? What new issues and questions am I going to be exposed to that help me think in new ways about this topic? And so that's what we really help faculty think through when they write their plan, their introductory video. Then we also think about how can we make that an inviting space. Billie Jean talked about this context. So a student logs into the course for the first time. And when they do so, they should know that they're in an art class. You don't see that very well here, but there's sort of an art flavor to that. That's an example of a course banner. They know exactly what course they're in, what the title of the course is, and provides a visual context of the room or space that they're stepping into. The second piece in the planning is then thinking through, well, what now that we've established the goals, what the outcomes, how will the outcomes and the learning outcomes be assessed? Is it going to be a quiz? You decided maybe, but maybe not. Is it going to be a research paper? Is it going to be formative, summative, or both? Are there other ways of assessing student learning, like that board that Shirley was using? Am I just trying to find out whether students are following along? Are there clues I'm not getting in a maybe more formative way of assessing? Perfect. Then we move on to talking about the content. The content really now asks the question, once we determine how I'd like to assess their learning, how do I get students there? How do I prepare students in the learning? How do I plan a learning path in how they engage with the content and how they engage with their textbook? Many of you are now using e-texts. Lots of great resources there that we're increasingly trying to integrate into the online course management system. And how will that work? Will they read? Will they read on their own? Will they respond? Will there be mini lectures by you or third party or by someone else who's done that at another university that you can bring in? Maybe there's an aspect or a concept that is well explained by someone else that you couldn't do as well, that brings expertise into the classroom. Is there an audio either created by you reading a poem or an audio explaining what students will be doing? For all of these, providing prompts and instructions is so important. Not only that they're asking students to read, view, or listen, but what exactly should they do? More importantly, why? Why should they watch a video you have put in your class? Unless you tell them. It comes back to that context, providing that context for how the video connects to the learning outcome and the intended learning. By when should they have watched it? Is it all due on the weekend? Is it due before the weekend? Is it due in connection with a response? And will they need to know anything about accessing this source? And if so, are there instructions for how to do that? So those are some of the questions that we discussed. Part of guiding students through the learning experience is not only engaging with content but learning experiences. That can take a variety of formats. Really, it really ties to what the intention is. In this course, the instructor wanted to know. This is an example of an animated map that asks students to place images into a region on the world map, assessing their background knowledge about what do they know about world art. Can they place an image of art in the right world region or continent? And then it gives them feedback if they got there's a correct and an incorrect answer. And but it's a way of self-testing. Oh, I guess I know everything, or I don't. But just a way of engaging them. Oh, this is leading up to maybe a reading, leading up to maybe a mini lecture, leading up to maybe understanding the activities that lie ahead. And yes, very true to your story. Accessibility is something that's an ongoing work at Fresno Pacific. We work hard at making the courses accessible to students. We like to closed caption all video that is created by you, the faculty members. If there are other materials that are brought in, sometimes they are closed captioned. If they are not, what can be done to enhance accessibility? Sometimes a transcript is very useful. I saw you had a written text as well as an audio of your poem. Are what's uploaded screen reader friendly? Some PDFs, if they're loaded up in images, Melinda Gunning tells me that they're not screen reader friendly. So there's a way and format in which that can be enhanced. If a blind student moves over an image, does their screen reader tell them what the image is about, or does it just say image? If it just says image, it's really meaningless to them. So when we add images to the course, we always, when you upload an image, it always will prompt you add a description, and often you'll say no description required because you don't take the time to do it. What that means is there is either no description for the student, or it comes with what the text has. So those are the kinds of things that we're trying to look for and make courses more accessible. Copyright is another element to be aware of. The question is the course using materials that are copyright protected? And if so, can you get permission to use them? Often you can. Sometimes there's a minimal fee associated with it. Sometimes it just takes a phone call to either the author or the organization, and sometimes we can also get the assistance from our librarians to help us with that, to see if there are materials that already exist that we're not aware of. We have tools and questions and guides that can help faculty members make the decision about the copyrighted material